Vice Chancellor. I see that 3 deputies Vice Chancellors are here tonight, and one of them being also a former UNICEF colleague, and members of the High Table, Resident Coordinator, Ambassador of Mexico, and everybody here tonight. What you call down payment, we prefer to call it partnership, and as UNICEF, we are very, very grateful to the University of Guyana for creating the space tonight for distilling a discussion in which we can exchange and discuss on what is the meaning of education and what education should be in Guyana in the future. I think this conversation, and I want also to recognize the CEO who is here on behalf of the Minister of Education. And the conversation tonight, it comes at a very, very key moment. Because as you might know, the education strategy plan is a current strategy plan is finalizing. We are in the last year of implementation. And so the Ministry of Education, under the leadership of the Minister and the CEO, is really active in planning, in consulting, in discussing, and really talking about what the new strategy plan, education strategy plan of Guyana needs to be. And so tonight's event topic is education as freedom. And I think it triggers a lot of thinking, a lot of ideas, opinions. I look forward to hear all the panelists' opinion on what they think is education as freedom. Humbly, I thought about what does it mean for me. And in many years, unfortunately, but let's say a few years of working in different countries. I've been working in different countries with different development context, different capacity, with always some challenges, even countries which were just coming out of a war. And often I've been asked in conversation where we were talking maybe about other problems, where would you start to solve certain issues in the country? And I must say my answer is often, I think we need to start from education, to reform education, to relook at education. I think, and I believe my UNICEF colleagues and everybody here share the same opinion, that quality education is an essential block for every human being to be able to learn how to communicate, to interact with others, to respect others, to become what we like to call, I'm not sure I like the word, but to become a productive member of the society. So to make decisions. But I think for me it's even more important is quality education give us something which is very precious, give us the capacity to critically think. So not to just take for granted whatever someone else says, whatever the media say, whatever internet or Facebook say, but to read it and to think. Do I agree? Do I disagree? Because the education is giving me the elements to be able to think critically. So to me, that's the link between education and freedom, because it gives me the freedom of making choices, the capacity to take advantage of a freedom to making choices. A UNESCO study in 2015 highlighted how 61 million children in primary school age, primary school age, and another 61 million adolescents for lower secondary school age were out of school. In Latin American and Caribbean only, 21 million of children were out of school or at risk of dropping out of school. Together with the Minister of Education last year, we started a study looking at the situation of out-of-school children in Guyana. And the study is finalized, it's in this final draft, and hopefully will be launched soon. But one data that really struck me is that out of this study revealed that among in-school children, 3.7% of those in grade 5th, and 2.3% of those in grade 6 are at serious risk of dropping out of school. These statistics paint a gloomy picture for us, A gloomy picture for the children, because their capacity and their possibility and their freedom to be able to learn is impaired. Their capacity to be able to one day to make decision is impaired. But I think it's not just about the children, it's about the whole society, because their lack of capacity will impact all of us. So also if we look at it in a more selfish manner, this is going to have an impact on all of us, on our country, on our development. So I think this is the time to really rethink, retool and reform what we think education should be. And maybe what I would like to invite you is to make sure that in the discussion that are going to take place during this year, we really think of clearly articulating national priorities which are evolving out of the promised economic opportunities in the horizon in this country. They foster cross-sectoral approaches which are going to look at the child when it comes to UNICEF and adolescent in a holistic manner. So looking at education not as a standing alone block, but together with other sectors. And looking also at disaster risk reduction and emergency preparedness, because unfortunately climate change might have impact on the country and the country capacity to provide education to its children. So to make sure that children also, if there is some disruption, will be able to keep learning and to keep learning in a qualitative manner. And also look at strengthening gender responsiveness. So I look very much forward to the discussion tonight and to also taking notes on maybe new ideas on how we can support the Ministry of Education and to think and to strategically think about a sector education plan, strategy plan for the next few years, which is really going to ensure quality education for all children and youth in Guyana. So to make sure that they really can have the choice and the opportunity to enjoy their freedom. Thank you.